Good afternoon and welcome to this short demonstration on how to create an audit workspace page leveraging the transaction log from your underlying TM1 database and server and moving that information into a cube for reporting. So here you see we have our workspace page, and if you notice, I'm starting out with a process here that's called log update transaction log. Okay, so we're going to take the transaction log and we're going to load that information into a cube. Now, right below here, I actually have a view that's hidden. So let's open up the parameters here. And this cube is taking its information from a cube. We're going to call it transaction log. And here, this log details, what we're doing are taking all the fields that you typically find in your transaction log, and we created a dimension to capture that information. So if we look at it here, it's going to capture the location of the log, the period, who the user was, the level, the previous value, the change value, all the information that you traditionally find in your transaction log. So if I go right in here and I'm just going to run this process real quick, and it's going to update my audit cube for all of the changes that I've made throughout my workday. So I've run that process, and now it's telling me it's executed successfully. So when I refresh, I now see the information come across in my view. So here's the location for the log, the date, so that log period, who the user was it a consolidated level or an N level, the previous value, and the change value here. Okay, so I can see what's going on, what cube it was, and then we have these other dimensions which represent the cost center or maybe the account, the GL account, the time, the year, all of that information here. So again, it all depends on what's in your transaction log and what you want to bring into your view. So now, to do this, obviously, we first need to create a cube called transaction log. But then how do we populate the information in here? So I'm going to open up the process here and show you just very quickly what we go in here. So the data source, obviously you don't have anything as a data source because it's really just going to take a log file, nothing in your parameters. But when we look at your advanced script in the prologue, okay, after our generated statements, we want to maybe tell, hey, this is log records what you have in your transaction log, whatever. So you define the cube. You can set what the calendar, the log count, so you can have it set up where it looks at maybe a date off of your calendar cube. So if you have something in there that says, okay, this is the current date or current month, period, whatever, you can definitely leverage that in the mix here. Okay, and then you're going to point to where are the logs stored. So in this instance on my VM here, it's on the E drive in this directory. So all of that information is now telling the solution, where am I finding my information? How do I know to take which is the latest? And that's what we're doing here. And where is it going? Then what I want to do is I want to run a save data all because, as everybody knows within planning analytics, the best thing to do is, just create that data copy or that save data all. So it's going to take what's in memory right now and drop it down to disk as a backup. Then you look at what the last log file is, and then you take the information here, and now you start to use that as your data source. Okay, so that's all in your prologue section. The next thing we want to do is look at your data. And so you take the counter that's defined above, add 1 to it. So that's going to now bring you to the last transaction information. And now we want to start defining where the data is going. So here you can take the headers from each of the fields within your transaction log, and you want to start to say, where is that data get put into? So here is where we're defining where the log location is going, the log file, the log period, all of that information that is found in your transaction log. Once that's done, we now want to then go in and update the calendar log count and add what the next number is. So that's how very quickly you can take your information from your transaction log, load it into a cube within Planning Analytics, and then have that visualized on your workspace to start doing your analytics. Now, this is not going to replicate your traditional transaction log capabilities where you're able to highlight a transaction and undo, but it is going to give you the ability to go in and search for specific items, maybe by what cube is it in, the date, the version, or the account, all of that. So you can go in and at least do these types of searches. You just will not have the administrative capability of undoing a transaction. So I hope you found this helpful and have a great day. Thank you.